In the territory of time travel, we encounter a series of captivating photographs that challenge our understanding of reality and possibility. Like seeing old-timey stuff mixed with modern things, or even futuristic scenes blending with ancient ones. Join me in this video and get ready for a mind-bending journey through 15 jaw-dropping photos that might convince you that time travel is more than just science fiction. These images aren't your typical snapshots, but they're like glimpses into a universe where time isn't just a straight road from past to present to future. So buckle up as we are now ready to explore 15 photos that can prove that time travel exists. Number 15. The Hipster Time Traveler. In a photo taken in 1941 at a busy beach, there's a guy who looks different from everyone else. While everyone else is dressed in old-fashioned clothes, he's wearing stuff that looks like it's from today. He's got on sunglasses, which weren't common back then, and his clothes are more like what people wear now, like a t-shirt and fitted pants. People look at the photo and wonder, is he a time traveler? Did he somehow go back in time from the future? It's a big mystery because he doesn't seem to belong in 1941. People wonder how he got there and why. The photo makes you think about time travel and what it would be like to meet someone from another time. It's like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Number 14. The Cell Phone Lady. In this old footage from the 1930s, we see a woman walking down a city street. But what's strange is that she seems to be talking on a mobile phone. This is what caught the attention, as mobile phones weren't invented back then. So people are scratching their heads, wondering how this could be. Could she be a time traveler? Someone who's come from the future to the past? It's a big question because it seems like she's using technology that shouldn't exist in the 1930s. Imagine walking down the street in the 1930s and seeing someone chatting away on a phone like we do today. It's pretty mind-boggling. People are curious about how she got there and where she's from. It's like a mystery straight out of a sci-fi movie. Number 12. The Time-Traveling Celebrity. In an old photograph from the 1920s, there's a person who looks a lot like the famous actor Nicolas Cage. It's really surprising because Nicolas Cage wasn't even born back then. People who see this photo do get paused for a minute thinking, could this person be Nicolas Cage? Is it possible that he's a time traveler going back in time and hiding his identity? It's a big mystery because the person in the photo has all the same features as Nicolas Cage, from his face to his hairstyle. People start thinking about the idea of celebrities traveling through time without anyone knowing. Imagine looking at a photo from almost 100 years ago and seeing someone who looks just like a famous actor today. It's pretty unbelievable. People are curious about whether time travel could be happening and if celebrities might be involved. It's a strange and fascinating idea that keeps people talking and wondering. Number 11. The Time Traveling Watch. In a Ming Dynasty tomb, archaeologists made a fascinating discovery: a tiny, detailed watch. This puzzles experts because the watch doesn't belong in that ancient time. It's like finding a piece of modern technology in a place it shouldn't be. People look at this watch and wonder, how did it end up in the Ming Dynasty tomb? Could it be that someone from the future accidentally left it behind while traveling through time? It's a big mystery because watches like this weren't invented until much later. Yet here it is, tucked away in a tomb from centuries ago. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers leaving behind clues from their journeys through history. Imagine being an archaeologist and stumbling upon something so unexpected. It's like a puzzle that doesn't quite fit together. People are curious about how the watch got there and what it might mean for our understanding of time and history. It's a fascinating and puzzling discovery that captures the imagination of many. Number 10. The Time Traveling Book. In a photo from 1928, there's a woman holding something that looks a lot like a modern digital camera. But here's the thing, digital cameras weren't invented yet in 1928. So people are scratching their heads, wondering how she got her hands on such advanced technology. This discovery sparks a lot of speculation. Could this woman be a time traveler? Someone who traveled from the future to the past and brought this futuristic gadget with her? It's a big mystery because it doesn't fit with what we know about technology back then. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers using advanced devices to document historical events. Maybe they're capturing moments in time that we don't know about yet. Looking at a photo from almost 100 years ago and seeing someone using a device that looks like it's from today is pretty mind-boggling. People are curious about how she got the device and what it means for our understanding of history. Number 9. Mohawk time traveler. In a photo from 1905, we see typical scenes of the time, with workers and a banana boat delivering goods. But if you look closely near the edge of the boat, you'll notice a man wearing a white shirt with a Mohawk-style haircut. This haircut was very unusual for that time and has sparked speculation about whether he could be a time traveler. Some people believe that his unusual haircut could be evidence of time travel, suggesting that he might be from a later era. However, others argue that it could simply be a coincidence or a hoax. While it's intriguing to think about the possibility of time travel, it's important to consider other explanations as well. Maybe the man simply had a unique hairstyle for his time, or perhaps the photo has been altered in some way. Without more evidence, it's difficult to say for sure whether this photo proves the existence of time travelers. Number 8. The time-traveling gadget. A photograph from 1922 captures a woman holding a rectangular object to her ear, reminiscent of a modern smartphone. But here's the thing. Smartphones didn't exist back then, so people are wondering how she got hold of such advanced technology. This discovery sparks a lot of questions. Could this woman be a time traveler, someone who came from the future to the past and brought this futuristic gadget with her? It's a big mystery because it doesn't fit with what we know about technology in 1922. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers influencing technological progress across different periods. Maybe they're introducing advanced devices like smartphones to earlier eras, shaping the course of history. Number 7. The time-traveling soldier. In one of the World War II photos, a soldier is being captured wearing sunglasses that look like they're from today. It's surprising because sunglasses like those weren't common during wartime. Everyone was curious about how he ended up wearing such modern-looking eyewear in that historical setting. This discovery leads to some interesting questions. Could this soldier be a time traveler, someone who traveled from the future to the past and brought these futuristic sunglasses with him? It's a big mystery, because his eyewear doesn't match the fashion of that time. Seeing a photo from nearly 80 years ago and spotting someone wearing sunglasses that look like they're from today is pretty surprising. People are curious about how he got the sunglasses and what it means for our understanding of history. Number 6. The time-traveling camera. In a photograph taken in 1941, a woman is seen holding an object resembling a modern digital camera. However, digital cameras had not yet been invented by 1941. This has left people puzzled, wondering how she acquired such advanced technology. This discovery sparks a lot of speculation. Could this woman be a time traveler, someone who traveled from the future to the past and brought this futuristic camera with her? It's a big mystery because it doesn't fit with what we know about photography in 1941. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers using modern cameras to capture moments from the past. Maybe they're documenting history in a way that we haven't realized yet. Number 5. The time-traveling tourist. In a photograph dated 1938, a man is seen donning attire and accessories seemingly ahead of his time. His clothing appears more in line with styles from a later era, prompting curiosity about how he came to wear such modern-looking garments in the past. This discovery raises some intriguing questions. Could this man be a time traveler, someone who traveled from the future to the past to observe historical events? It's a big mystery because his outfit doesn't match the fashion of 1938. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers blending into different historical periods, maybe even trying to influence events without anyone noticing. It's a fascinating idea that made everyone think and wonder. Number 4. The Adidas trainer's mummy. A few years back, archaeologists in Mongolia made an interesting discovery. They found an ancient mummy. What caught people's attention was the footwear she wore, which looked a lot like Adidas trainers. Some thought this could be evidence of a time traveler visiting ancient times. But when scientists investigated further, they found that the mummy was around 1,100 years old. They also discovered that she was likely a Turkic seamstress. This could explain why she had such stylish shoes. In addition to the shoes, the mummy was buried with other items like an ancient clutch bag, a mirror, a comb, and a knife. However, There was no sign of any modern technology, like a mobile phone. While the idea of a time traveler wearing Adidas trainers is exciting, it seems more likely that the mummy was simply a person from ancient times with a sense of fashion. This reminds us that sometimes things aren't as mysterious as they first seem. Number 3. The time-traveling woman. In a photo from 1917, there's a woman wearing clothes that seem to be from a later time. It's like she's dressed in fashion from the future. People are curious about how she ended up wearing such modern-looking clothes in the past. This revelation prompts intriguing speculation. Is it possible that this woman inadvertently found herself in the past, dressed in attire from a later era? The mystery deepens as her clothing stands in stark contrast to the fashion of 1917, leaving us pondering her presence in this historical photograph. Seeing a photo from over 100 years ago and spotting someone dressed in clothes that look like they're from today is pretty surprising. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers moving through different periods, maybe even with a specific purpose. Number 2. The time-traveling sunglasses. In a photo from 1943, there's a factory worker wearing sunglasses that look like they could be from today. But here's the thing. Sunglasses like those weren't common back then, especially during wartime. So, people are wondering how he got them. This discovery raises some interesting questions. Could this worker be a time traveler? Someone who traveled from the future to the past and brought these modern sunglasses with him? It's a big mystery because it doesn't match the fashion of that time. People start thinking about the idea of time travelers fitting into different historical periods by blending in with their fashion choices. Maybe they're trying to hide in plain sight, avoiding suspicion while exploring the past. Seeing a photo from almost 80 years ago and noticing someone wearing sunglasses that look like they're from today is pretty surprising. People are curious about where he got the sunglasses and what it means for our understanding of history. Number 1. The ancient astronaut sculpture. In Salamanca, Spain, there's a cathedral with carvings on its walls. One of these carvings looks like an astronaut. But the cathedral was built in 1513, long before astronauts existed. Some people thought this meant time travelers visited the past. But actually, the astronaut carving was made in 1992 during renovations by Geronimo Garcia de Quiñones. So it's not proof of time travel, it's just a modern addition to the old artwork. This teaches us to check the facts before jumping to conclusions about unusual things we see. And that's all, my friends. As we look closely at these interesting photos, each with its sense of mystery, we start thinking about time differently. It's like the line between past and present gets fuzzy, making us wonder if time can be changed. These images make us wonder if people have really traveled through time or if there's just something strange about how we see things. They make us curious about the big questions of the universe and the secrets of life itself. See you in the next video.